couple of stories. So, Arab League to meet over Israeli-Palestine conflict on Wednesday. So, and then we got Iran's Raisi, Saudi Arabia's MBS discuss Israel-Hamas war. Right? Arab ministers urge Israel to resume talks on the two-state solution. So, the meeting on Wednesday is going to get interesting. Wednesday is probably D-Day, right? Um, and they're going to make a decision probably at that meeting what to do. So, got two key points. You got the Israelis posing around the edges of Gaza while bombing it, basically nuking the place and committing ethnic cleansing. And then you got all of the Arab countries meeting. You got even Iran and Saudi who are opposed to each other. Even those guys are going to be at the meeting, and they're all on the same page. And they've already made a statement that if they go into Gaza, then they're gonna launch strikes. You know what I mean? They're gonna probably give green light Hezbollah to attack the Zion Nazis. So yeah, so Wednesday is probably gonna be D-Day. I mean, I think that everybody is sizing each other up now. They told them the Arab League basically said, listen, you gotta halt the bombing, airstrikes. They haven't halted the strikes. Then Hamas said, listen, if you don't stop the strikes, we're gonna kill the hostages. They haven't done that either. So it's a very tenuous situation. And then you have the Secretary of State, this moist soy boy, right? So he runs around the Middle East meeting with everyone. He went to Saudi Arabia and they just made him wait for hours before even meeting with him. And then he postponed it. So he made him wait for hours, right? And then he said, "Yeah, listen, I ain't gonna make it." So, so really, nobody is scared of them anymore. Vladimir Putin made that statement. He said, "Y'all moving all of that hardware to the Middle East, all these aircraft carriers." He said, "What are you gonna do? Bomb Lebanon?" He said, "These people are not afraid. You know what I mean? Like they'll fight you." So, and at this point, over the past like 15, 20 years, they've amassed huge arsenals, right? I mean, you figure what are they gonna do? Try to launch strikes, cruise missile strikes from aircraft carriers? Listen, Hezbollah has, I think, 150,000 precision missiles, right? That can probably go land and sea. Then you got Syria. Then you got the Iranians, right? Saudi Arabia looks like they're gonna side with the Arabs on this one. Arabs, Russia, and China. So they're gonna switch sides, right? Obviously. So now you got an Arab coalition. So you got what? Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Syria. Of course, what's left of Hamas. Um, who did I forget? I said Iran, and probably a couple of other, Arab states. Egypt will probably switch sides. They may switch sides, right? All in that area, right? And you got some of those groups with advanced weaponry, so they can sink those aircraft carriers. You know what I mean? I mean, they'll do some cruise missile strikes, but they can't defend those aircraft carriers. They'll sink that shit. You know what I mean? Not to mention they'll launch thousands of missiles at Israel. So you'll have sunken aircraft carriers, and then you'll have Israel pretty much getting turned into rubble at a certain level, right? It'll look like Gaza, you know. I mean, a lot of places will, but then it's going to spread. Now, they're trying to contain that. I don't really see, basically, what they're trying to do is say, hey, well, listen, why don't you guys step back while we let Israel, continue the airstrikes on Gaza and then ethnically cleanse, Gaza. And they're saying, no, we're not going to do that, right? We're going in. They already said it. You know what I mean? We're going, pretty much they said we're going in, right? And so you have that Arab coalition that's, that's going to go to war with them. So it looks like, not to make this too long, but that meeting takes place, I believe, on Wednesday. Right? The meeting takes place on Wednesday. So it looks like Wednesday might be D-Day, right? I mean, once they all get together and the Israeli, the Israelis, who knows? They keep saying they keep posing at the border saying they're getting ready to go in. But the reason they didn't was because they already said they're gonna, if they go in and try to ethnically cleanse Gaza, right? If they continue this ethnic cleansing operation in Gaza, then they're gonna they're gonna hit them, and then that's gonna drag the U.S. in, because they already posing with all their ships over there, so they got to strike somebody. So the minute they do that, then it's all out war. The minute one of those ships launch cruise missiles attacks on Lebanon, or then you got U.S. troops in Palestine, right, doing operations with the IDF against Hamas, right, and then you got aircraft carriers that are striking Lebanon, Syria, and other targets. You got U.S. troops already positioned in Syria, so they'll be sending um, the Syrians and the Iraqis, oh, I forgot about them. Iraq also looks like they're going to switch over um, to the Arab State Coalition. Coalition. So you know what I mean. So they're going to go at all of these groups. So at that point, I mean, I don't think anybody would disagree that that's World War III. Right? I don't think anybody was like, oh, you're being bombastic or hyperbolic. But the minute, like Wednesday is probably D-Day, right? For all of this, like Wednesday, they're probably going to make a final decision as what to do, whether it's going to get physical or not. And based on like the Saudis not really wanting to deal with the U.S. anymore, and swapping sides for China and Russia, it looks like they're going to go ahead and greenlight that shit. They're going to greenlight a fight because they think they can win it, and it's not like it's probably going to go nuclear. They don't. I guess they're not thinking it's going to go nuclear. It'll probably just be conventional. But a conventional Israel and U.S. cannot win a conventional fight in the Middle East. It's not going to happen. They don't have enough troops, and the people that they're fighting, Hezbollah, Hamas, Iran, etc., and Syria, those different groups, they can probably muster enough troops to create havoc. They'll like I said, the naval ships. I mean, they'll sink those easily. You know what I mean? Iran has hypersonic missiles. So one hypersonic hit one of those carriers, that's the end of that. That shit'll be on the bottom of the ocean, right? The only problem with that is oil goes to about $200 a barrel. So even if it doesn't go nuclear, it's going to create havoc around the world when it happens. So this will be a world-changing event. You know what I mean? Once it takes place, and it looks like it's going to take place. It looks like the Arab states have had enough of the U.S. So they may be getting ready to be kicked out of the Middle East. That means Israel's going to lose, right? They're going to overrun Israel. Now the problem with that is Israel has nukes. So at some point, beyond it could move beyond conventional to nuclear because they could launch a nuclear strike on Iran. You know what I mean? Something like that. So, but anyway, yeah, we'll watch Wednesday. Watch for that meeting Wednesday. Let's see what comes out of it. That's all I got.